Master Grade Barbatos. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we have the Master Grade ASWG08 Gundam Barbatos. Okay, that's a mouthful. From Bandai. Released in November of 2019. And it costed me $79.99 Canadian. The Barbatos actually goes through several upgrades in the series, and this kit is based off of the 4th form. There's a P Bandai upgrade pack as well, which allows you to transform into the other forms, but P Bandai is hella expensive here in the north. So, sucks to be us. The Barbatos is piloted by Mikazuki Algis, one of the main characters in the series, Iron-Blooded Orphans, who is part of Tekkadan, a private security company consisting of barely old enough orphans that is able to compete with well-trained soldiers and other military groups. What can possibly go wrong? That being said, let's get this review started. Firstly, we have the box. You got your standard Master Grade size box, I remember when they used to be half the size, and as always, an amazing looking box art, depicting the Barbatos smashing through a graze. I desperately want more Master Grade kits from the series, but knowing Bandai, probably won't be coming back to this series for like another 10 years, just like how they do with Gundam Seed and every other series. Anyways, on the side of the box, we got a front and back view of the kit, as well as a pose similar to that of the one of the box art. In addition, we got a couple of panels highlighting the inner frame, which is brand new to this kit due to its unique design. Also, there's a 1/100 painted figure of Mikazuki. Some emphasis on part separation, and some words describing that, but ain't nobody got time to read, and I can't read. On the other side of the box, we are shown a bunch of weapons that comes with the kit, some gimmicks including thrusters, the backpack, and a variety of poses. Spoiler alert, it's pretty fun to pose. With all that basic stuff out of the way, onto the kit itself. And here we have the 4th form Barbatos, straight build with panel lighting and decal stickers, of which there's quite a bit, though I only applied it onto the outer frame because the inner frame is going to be covered up by the armor pieces anyways, but you have the options to do so if you wish. But yeah, here is the kit with all the weapons attached, which is always nice to see, a kit fully equipped. But let's remove all that and we are still left with a mean looking Gundam. And it's pretty similar to the anime depiction, though a bit taller, and of course having more detail, but pretty much the same. And I'll have you know that I built this kit around 2020, so it's around 2 years old in this time of this video, and it's held up really well. And it's as difficult as any other modern Master Grade. Take that how you may, you could be a beginner and still jump right in, don't be intimidated by it, especially if you like the look. And based on the appearance alone, this kit looks amazing. Different from standard Gundam designs, the suits in this series are much more mechanical looking, with more exposed parts, and are much thinner around the torso area. The exposed pistons, hydraulics look great. Being chrome and silver, they stick out quite a bit, and contrast really well with the grey inner frame. There are other mechanical elements found throughout the kit, in exposed areas such as behind the legs and the trunk, just nice designs, and just a really good use of colored part separation to add extra details. And speaking on the colored part separation, I really like how they use the traditional Gundam color designs, you know, the red, white, blue, and yellow. I absolutely love the use of that color combination, especially for this unique looking Gundam. Just a nice design. And as far as straight builds go, I don't even think you need to paint it, though you can if you want. This kit also has a good amount of panel lining you can do, which I highly recommend, alongside the decals, helps break up all the white. Though, you know, sticker decals, they're not really that great, but I got them, so I use them. In addition, I really like the clear pink used for the AHAB reactors, located on the shoulder pauldrons and the knees. A subtle detail, but it looks really good when the light hits it. Overall, just a pretty badass looking kit. Quite fitting for Mikazuki's style, and a nice change from traditional designs. But does this new frame compromise its movement? Let's take a look. Alrighty, starting with the head, it can move side to side like this. The whole neck design is much different than traditional Gundams as well. A lot of mechanical elements engineered right into there, but it's still able to perform a 360 without any issues, as well as an up and down head tilt. Shoulder pauldrons can move up and down, though be a little gentle with it. I kind of stretched out the hinge joint, causing it to be a little loose, so be careful. These shoulders are able to internally and externally rotate this much, and by doing this you can see the moving gimmick for the pistons. Absolutely love it. The arm has this much of an abduction. It can go higher though, but that would actually knock off the shoulder pauldrons. And the arm could full 360 rotate. Upper bicep full rotation. There's this much of an elbow bend. Also while doing so, exposes some more moving gimmicks. The hands are attached to a hinge joint, allowing it to have flexion and extension, while also being able to perform a 360. And the thumb is on a ball joint, with traditional ball joint movement. Moving on to the torso, we got a good side to side bend, also, you know, moving gimmicks, pretty cool. Pretty good ab crunch and back extension as well. And no 360 rotation because this part over here gets stuck on its crotch. Moving along to the back, it's got some movement here as well, surprisingly. The backs actually have these two capsule units that could actually come off like so, which are on pistons as well. And the whole thing is pretty much a big arm that's able to have really good movement. And this function will allow the Barbatos to utilize the smoothbore gun, which I'll be showing you later. And being a backpack, it could actually store the weapons on it. On the side of these capsule units, there's actually these parts you can slide out. They are used to hold the smoothbore gun, and this adapter piece for the weapons. I'll be showing you that later. Moving down to the waist unit, the front skirts are on a ball joint so it can move up and down this far and wiggle about. The side skirts are actually thrusters and are on a small hinge joint that allows it to move up and down and can almost fully rotate 360 degrees. For the back skirts, they can just rotate up and down for some nice butt flap action. Moving to the legs, the Barbatos could actually perform a full split, you just gotta move these side thrusters out of the way. Just beautiful. Oh, yeah! Pretty good high kick and back kick. The hip joint is able to move up and down. The knee bend is actually limited if the thruster stays where it is. However, the thrusters could be moved down this far, showing us a good amount of details behind the knee. Doing this also allows the knee to have a greater range of motion. The thrusters on the side of the calves could also rotate. As for the foot, the ankle armor can move up and down. Ankle has this much of a side-to-side pivot. Ankle dorsiflexion and extension. Really good toe point. And the heel can move forward and back. Overall articulation is pretty good, nothing to complain about, and I'm happy to say that the new design hasn't compromised that. Alrighty, now let's move on to extras and accessories, of which this kit has quite a bit of. Firstly, we got a lot of hands, a pair of closed fists, a pair of holding hands, and already equipped to the kit, a pair of open hands. The hands for this kit is actually a bit unique as well, because the Barbatos does have clawed fingers, and all the hands have this extra detail molded right into them. It might be a small thing, but the attention to detail is very nice to see. Next up for the weapons category, we got the giant mace that looks insanely menacing. The shaft is able to extend. In addition, it also has a pile driver spike in the middle of it that also can extend, allowing it to stab and smash.
I'm gonna smash your boy, guys. I'm gonna smash your boy.
And as shown here, when fully erect, the full length of the mace is taller than the Barbatos. Now to equip the mace, you're going to need the holding hand, and it goes along these little grooves that are found throughout the whole shaft of the mace. Only issue is due to the girth of the shaft and weight due to the sheer size. The mace may be a little difficult for the Barbatos to hold and pose, but it's not impossible. You just gotta put in some extra work, but like pulling off the iconic box art pose, not that difficult at all. But like I stated earlier, because of the weight of the whole mace, you're gonna need some patience to play around with it. But definitely worth it once you get in a good pose. In addition, the mace also has another gimmick. There are two blades attached to the mace which could be pulled off, and there are grooves on the blade itself for the holding hands to slide right onto. And pretty much the rest is self-explanatory. You got daggers, blades, however you want to call it, and it looks pretty cool. Always nice when your weapons have weapons in them. Can't go wrong with that. Okay, next up we have the longsword, and it is indeed a very long sword. Long as the Barbatos itself and shaped like a katana. Because, you know, why not? It's somewhat of a simple looking sword, but it does have some nice detail on the handle and guard, and would look really good if you gave it a nice paint job. Also if you panel lined it, though I was too lazy to do so. To equip it, you just need the holding hand, and there's also grooves on the handle of the sword that allows the hand to slot perfectly right onto the sword. So you can pull off your basic katana poses, and unlike the mace, the Barbatos has no issue holding this at all. Despite being a simple weapon, in any pose, it still looks great. And lastly for the weapons, we got the smoothbore gun, a 300mm caliber gun, and the only long-range weapon this kit has. The gun is quite detailed and hefty. When at combat readiness, the gun is actually very long, and quite a beast of a weapon. It also has a small machine gun, attached to the bottom to accompany the large Daka with some small pew-pews. The machine gun and the handle can actually slide back and forth. This will actually help the hand positioning when you equip the weapon. Another cool gimmick for this gun is actually it's collapsible and foldable, allowing it to be easily stored in the backpack. Overall, just a really cool and unique looking weapon. And to equip it, you actually have to attach it to the backpack. Well, you don't really have to, but it does help support the gun, and it can be underslung and then just held on by the hand. Positioning it might be tricky for the first time, but I can assure you that it's not that difficult. And as you can clearly see, it looks pretty badass. That's it for weapons, but we still got some extras. We are given an adapter piece for the backpack, and this is to hold the mace and the sword. In which case it does a pretty good job, at least for the sword, the mace is kinda heavy. Now we are also given an adapter piece for an action base, but I lost mine. But you know what I didn't lose? The figures. Like all Master Grades nowadays, we are given 2 minifigures. In this case, a tiny figure of Mikazuki. As cute as he is murderous. In addition, we have a pilot figure of him sitting in his cockpit, while he still had movement in all his limbs. And that's it for extras and accessories, of which, like I said earlier, got a lot of it. Which is great because that means you could put him in a variety of poses, and he looks great in all of them. So far, a pretty good kit. But how well would it hold up if I was to do this? Well, aside from disarming him, and missing both his hands, the kit holds up exceptionally. Even with the hands falling off, it just shows how well it was actually holding the weapons. So far, solid as a rock. And as for height, the Master Grade Barbatos stands around 8.5 inches tall, or 21.59 centimeters. And for some size comparison, here it is next to the 1/44th scale entry grade RX-78-2. Here it is next to the fellow Master Grade, the RX-78-2, the Origin. Here it is next to its successor, though not as well built, the full mechanics Barbatos Lupus Rex. And here it is next to a 1/72nd scale Omega Rex from Takara Tomy. And now it is here next to a Black Skull, Haro, DK, Doraemon, Boa Hancock, a Windex, and Dave. As for shelf presence, it's like any other Master Grade, pretty decently sized, and if you like the design, I think it would definitely stick out, even if it's surrounded by this. So, should you buy this kit? Yes, you should actually buy this kit. This kit is actually really good. It's really solid. Everything looks great. What more could you ask? Yes, I'm actually being completely serious. It's actually a really good kit. Only thing I can see it putting off some people is the price tag. Even if you're a beginner builder that's never built a Master Grade before, if you put some time and effort on this kit, take it easy, be patient, this is a good kit for you. Or if you're a fan of IBO, pick this kit up. Don't even bother getting the full mechanics version of this. It might be cheaper, but I can guarantee that it won't be as solid as this one. So if you're ever on the fence, I don't know why you would be, pick it up. It's a great kit. Now if only Bandai makes more Master Grades from this series, they would make absolute bank off of those. But like I said earlier, knowing Bandai, they probably won't revisit this series until another 10 years. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. Well anyways, thanks for watching my video. I hope you like it. I enjoyed making it. Let me know what you think. And if you think I did a good job, please like and subscribe. I hate saying that, but that's the only thing that works with the algorithm. Thanks again for watching. Take care. Bye.